I'd like to call to order the Alexander County Board of Commissioners for the meeting of April 8th, 2013. The invocation tonight will be done by Commissioner Darrell Robertson. If everyone will please stand.
As we pause this evening, we're grateful for the care, the protection, and the guidance that have been ours through this day. As we pause this evening, we'd ask that we might have the wisdom and direction to transact business for the benefit of the citizens of Alexander County. As we pause this evening, we would ask that your protection be with those who are in service to this county, to this state, to this nation, and around the world. It seems that every day the hazards of living in America become more tremendous. And as we have citizens employed around the world, the situation becomes even more dangerous for them. We would ask that your wisdom might bring to close some of the terrorist and some of the threatening activities that are taking place. We pray now that your wisdom might be with us. We pray that your traveling protections might be with us as we leave this place this evening. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda is always a pleasurable task, I think, for any of us that have sat in this chair or any of us on the commission. It's a special recognition for Suzanne Reinhardt. And Suzanne, I would ask you to step up to the podium, and I'm going to step up there too. And let's see who else. Lenny, I want you to come up too. Get him in too. I'm going to read this key to the county. The Alexander County Board of Commissioners bestows this key to the county upon Suzanne Reinhardt. The recognition for her dedicated service to Alexander County and cooperative extension for approximately 33 years, presented April 8th, 2013. I can take it out of the box. The box is extra.
Suzanne can take it out of the box.
Yeah, and that quickly is good too.
Thank you so much.
And if you'd like you over here in the picture, and now your husband's here too, so
Ray,
come on up.
come on. He just got off work, so.
Suzanne, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a few words you'd like to say?
Yes, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. And Lenny, after she finishes, if you would have a few words, I'd really appreciate it.
I know y'all have been seeing me do the happy dance for a couple of months, but now that it's actually 17 days away, I'm starting to get really nervous. Being able to work for Alexander County government has been absolutely wonderful. If you think about this, a very unique situation with the Extension Service. We're not a mandated program. We need funds from the county to do this, but it's for 100 years we've been the outreach from the university and getting research out to the people. So we absolutely thank you for your support. And Extension is more than an 8-to-5 job. But it's been wonderful working in this county. I spent my first 3 years in Swain, and then I've been here for 29 and a half years. First of all, I'd like to thank my staff, Lenny and Allison, Margot, who's already retired, but she's coming back part-time, and Kathy and Julie and Jamie for all their support for the 4-H program. You don't see that a lot in other counties where the other staff support and want to do 4-H work. I also like to thank all the county departments and employees for networking with Extension. You don't see that in a lot of other counties either, where everybody, it just seems like all the departments want to work together to find some way to make every person's life in Alexander County that much better. I can't, even down to county maintenance. I don't know what I would do without county maintenance. They are a big support. Everybody does their job. I'd like to also thank the school system, a big outreach that we do with school enrichment, and to all the teachers that I've worked with. I picked up 37 incubators today after a great hatch for embryology, and just appreciate all that they've done to work with 4-H. And also to the people on the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. I was chair for 22 years, and thank you, Holly Young, for, she's back there shaking her head, for taking over that responsibility for the county, and all those members that have been on there for a long time to, for the council to do their work, and so that the county can receive funding for special needs youth. And the big thing for 4-H volunteers and the 4-Hers that I've worked with in this county over the years, I've even got, I think, some children and grandchildren of 4-Hers and on through the years, and it's just been an unbelievable ride and responsibility being able to work with them. And last, I'd like to thank my family. My husband, Ray, and my children, Laura and Taylor. It's hard being just like county commissioners or any person in this room that works for county government. We're always on call. They have to do a lot of extra stuff. Like even my husband was out there helping Rick and I at doing the parade. He was in charge of one parking lot and all the Corvettes and getting them in line. So they're, county employees and families, they have to do a lot of things. Ray had to raise the babies while I was off to graduate school and doing other things for Extension. And I just appreciate their support, because if I didn't have their support, I couldn't have done this job. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Lenny?
I just want to thank Suzanne for all she's done. I mean, for all her years, the number of kids she's worked with in her tenure here, it's been the tens of thousands, maybe probably over 100,000. So she's affected a lot of lives, and her work ethic's just unbelievable, and the variety of programs and school enrichment and all she does, it's just really going to be hard to replace her. We're really going to miss her, but we just thank you so much for.
4-H is not going to stop on the summer.
No, 4-H is not going to stop this summer.
Just because I'm not here.
A lot of us are doing a lot of different camps, filling in, so we've got camp every week still this summer. So if I'm not always around every day, Rick, you'll know where I'm at. But thank you again, Suzanne.
Thank you, Suzanne. The next item on the agenda is Commissioner's report. Does any commissioner have anything they'd like to report on or say?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to just say that at the next meeting, I'd like to, we've been having a discussion and sometimes an argument in this county about economic development. How do we do it? How do we get there? What's the best way? At the next meeting, I'm going to present just my thoughts on how we make progress in economic development in Alexander County. And it's not going to be, what I'm presenting is not going to be an economic development plan, but it's how do we get to an economic development plan that may work here for our individual needs in this county. I would have presented it tonight, but I didn't have time to finish the PowerPoint, and all the information's together. But people are engaged in this county like never before, and we want to take advantage of that and have worked to bring everybody together and for the greater good of the people of this county. And I appreciate everything that both sides have done to try to do what they think is best for this county. So, but I just wanted to mention that.
Anyone else?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would like to address that. Yesterday, as I was on my way to church down the Old Mountain Road, as I've done for many, many years, close to 50, I was taken aback by what I saw. The next farm down from me, the trees, the nursery that he runs, the trees were all in bloom, pink and white, and I just was amazed at how beautiful my ride was. And I guess I was just convicted on my ride as to how lucky I am, how blessed I am, not lucky, that I live in a county that was so beautiful and the type people that I have been allowed to live around all my life. And every one of these farms have been in the same family. There's about 7 of them for as long as I can remember. And we have businesses, small businesses. The nursery now has a blackberry business going. The J.M. Lackey farm and a nursery on it. This is providing income for Alexander County. And you move on down, and there is the Smith farm. Alan Smith has the Daddy Pete business. A lot of times we don't think of this as being businesses and providing income for this county, but they are. And I just wanted to say, I felt like I needed to say that I feel like I am very blessed to have been allowed to live where I do and enjoy the things that I have, the people that have been my friends all these years. That's just the way my ride to church was yesterday. And I appreciate the fact that I'm allowed to sit here and say that. And one of my heroes today died, Margaret Thatcher. And I would just like to say from Alexander County, a tribute to her, that she was a great lady.
Judy, indeed, in fact, she was. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add? I'd like to read one thing. I think it was an email. Matter of fact, it is an email forwarded from Jill Woody to Rick French. And it's a letter to the editor in the Hickory paper talking about the senior center that's been opened in Bethlehem. And I'm going to read it, which is the letter to the editor that was written by Paulette Huffman from the Bethlehem community. Senior Center is finally opened. What a great day for Bethlehem community this past Tuesday, April 2nd, when a branch of the Alexander County Senior Center opened here. This is something that's been a long time coming, but is here now, up and running. Even if it's only 2 days a week, we'll take it. Thank you to the Alexander County Commissioners, Alexander County Senior Center, and most importantly, thank you to Mount Pisgah Lutheran Church for so graciously donating a space for the Bethlehem Senior Center to finally come to fruition. The space was the holdup for so long, and this local church graciously opened its doors to the seniors of this area, and for this we are very grateful. If you are a senior citizen living near Bethlehem, please take advantage of this center on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There are classes of all types, cards and games, movies and exercise, all here for you to enjoy. People need to come to the center and so it can continue to operate, and hopefully in the future might become a 5-day-a-week happening. Mount Pisgah is located on Highway 127, just past the second stoplight in Bethlehem, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hope to see you there soon. Paulette Huffman, Bethlehem. Add additional comment. I asked County Manager Rick French, we hope as soon as we find space to open up a similar center in the Stony Point area. So we're not going to ignore the eastern part of the county in expanding the breadth of the senior center. So I thought that was a great letter, and I wanted to read it. And thanks, Jill, for forwarding that to Rick. Does anybody else have anything else? No other comments? One thing I'd like to add before we adopt the agenda, under the consent agenda, I'd like to add the Alexander County, North Carolina Department of Public Safety, JCPC county funding allocation under the consent agenda. So if you just want to make a note of that, JCPC Alexander County funding allocation. Motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
I second it.
All in favor, raise your right hand. The next item on the agenda is the public comment period. We have 4 individuals signed up to speak, and before we recognize those, well, actually, there's more than 4 individuals that are going to be speaking. We have adopted, and we mentioned this in our last county commission meeting on the advice of our county attorney, that we need to put more structure in the public comment period. And some of the structure includes, we've limited the public comment period to 15 minutes. You must, if you're going to speak, you must sign up in advance by calling Jamie Starnes at 632-9332, and you will be allocated 3 minutes to say whatever you have to say. So that's a total, really a total of 5 people or 5 slots for public comment period. It will only be comments. We will not engage in a dialogue between whoever's going to make comments and if you are making comments through the board. We will listen to what you have to say, but we will not have a dialogue in the public comment period. So the first people I'd like to recognize are Josh Mitchell and Lenny Rogers, the hazardous waste day that's coming up.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Just wanted to come this evening and make an announcement about the upcoming Household Hazardous Waste Day. In conjunction with Earth Day, the Alexander County Household Hazardous Waste / Shred It Day will take place Saturday, April 27th in the County Administration Building parking lot. The purpose of this event is to give county residents an opportunity to dispose of environmentally harmful materials that are found around the home, and then also personal documents in a safe and environmentally friendly manner. I'm going to go through now and list some of the items we'll be taking that day. Household cleaners, including drain openers, toilet bowl cleaners, oven cleaners, and disinfectants. Paint products such as latex and oil-based paint, solvents, thinners, shellacs, varnishes, wood preservatives, and sealers. Lenny's going to talk about some pesticide stuff in a minute. And then we'll also take miscellaneous items such as acids, bases, kerosene, household batteries, photographic chemicals, fluorescent bulbs, electronics, aerosol cans, pool chemicals, propane gas cylinders, and metallic mercury. And then, as I mentioned, we're also going to have a shredded truck there this day. So any type of personal documents for shredding. The material is shredded right in front of you, so you don't have to worry about it falling into the wrong hands. This is free for the citizens of the county. Businesses will not be allowed, with the exception of farmers, which Lenny will touch on. And the sponsors for this event are Alexander County Government, Alexander County Cooperative Extension Service, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The administration building is right below the senior center on Lyledown Road. The operating hours are from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you want more information, call my office at 632-1101, or you can call the extension office at 632-4451. And if you see the pictures that are on the screen, that's some pictures of the Hazardous Waste Day 2 years ago we had. It's pretty efficient. People don't even have to get out of their cars. We have people unloading. That's a bunch of paint there that we collected. So I want to urge everybody to come out and see us that day, and Lenny's going to talk a little bit about the pesticide.
Josh, what day was that again?
April 27th, Saturday, the last Saturday of the month.
Josh, you don't have to sign up, you just show up, right?
You just show up. Okay. That's right.
And I will say this is a chance of a lifetime. Every 2 years we do this, and it's very expensive to take it to a hazardous household disposal site, so take advantage of it. The pesticides that we'll take this day, we have an NCDA representative that'll show up, and we'll take any type of pesticides, from a fungicide, insecticide, herbicides, whether it's a granular, a liquid, aerosol. They'd rather it be 5 gallons or less, but I've seen them take much larger. So whatever you've got, if it's in your shed, your garage, whatever, just bring it, and they'll dispose of it. So like Josh said, April 27th, 9 to 1 o'clock, and we'll be there to help unload.
Thanks very much. This is a worthwhile endeavor. Next on the public comment sign-up list is Connie Keehan.
Good evening. Excuse me. Chairman Jennings, Commissioners, Mr. French, and Ms. Starnes. I'm Connie Killian, and I'm the chairperson of the Bethlehem Community Development Association. Our mission statement for the BCDA is what we call it, is to promote the growth and development of the community of Bethlehem. I'm here to ask that the commissioners meet personally with the owners of Lowe's Food to convince them to stay in our community. With the defeat of the alcoholic referendum, we were afraid Lowe's, which employs 76 people and brings in $244,000 annually in sales tax dollars to the county, might leave our community. We are also aware that the grocery store is the anchor store in a shopping center, and if they leave, then the other stores are bound to follow. The loss of our grocery store will create an economic disaster for our community and seriously impact the property values in the community and affect the overall budget of the county. We plead to you to do everything in your power to see that this closing does not happen, not only for Bethlehem, but for the financial well-being of Alexander County. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Next on the list is Bud Kaywood.
I'm Bud Kaywood. I'm chairman for Citizens for the Future of Alexander County. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you tonight. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Mr. French, Ms. Starnes, when CFAC presented to this commission a plan for specific initiatives for a better Alexander County, it included a call for an alcohol election, which was defeated by voters on March the 19th. However, those initiatives are much, much more than an alcohol election. From the beginning, we have been and will continue to be to revitalize our local economy, to build tourism on natural scenic beauty, to create a cultural arts environment, to develop retirement opportunities. In a recent editorial in the Taylorsville Times by Mr. Gary Jennings, president of Alexander Citizens for Faith and Family Values, and an opponent to the alcohol referendum, he stated that, and I quote the article, "We were led to believe that this was only part of an economic plan already designed and would be aided by a local option for alcohol. Now, apparently, there is no plan B." Let me point out, CFAC is not going away. We do not have a plan B because we are still working with our initial plan. Let me make this very, very clear. CFAC will continue to move forward with our initial plan of initiatives. The only difference is that there will not be the guaranteed revenue stream into the county we had hoped for. CFAC may have lost an election, but we have not lost focus on our initiatives for a better Alexander County. Let me also point out this. I've had the opportunity to review the comprehensive draft of initiative by Commissioner Mayberry, and his plans and objectives are in direct relationship to those of CFAC. Therefore, as we move forward, I strongly recommend that CFAC and both county and town governments collaborate and work together for a better future for Alexander County. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly is Holly Young. Did I pronounce that right? Yes, sir. You can call me Berkey. You don't have to say sir.
Good evening. I am Holly Young, the Children's Services Program Manager with the Alexander County Department of Social Services. Just here tonight to ask the commissioners to adopt and Chairman Jennings to sign a resolution making or honoring April as Child Abuse Prevention Month for Alexander County. It is Child Abuse Prevention Month nationwide, and you will see there are some bags either in front of you or to the side of you. Those bags are some items about Child Abuse Prevention Month. Included in your bag is a pinwheel, which is the symbol for Child Abuse Prevention Month nationwide. And there's also a lapel sticker in there for you to wear, along with some information about Child Abuse Prevention Month. We do want the folks in the community to be aware of what's going on this month. We always try to have at least one special activity during the month of April, and we are very excited about an opportunity to host a celebrity in Taylorsville on April the 18th at 6 o'clock at Millersville Baptist Church. There will be a showing of a film named Finding Faith. The film is produced by the Safe Surfing Foundation, and they are based out of Virginia. And they go around the country doing education and awareness events concerning youth and the internet and the dangers that our children can find on the internet and how the dangers can find our kids. The movie is based on a true story about a 14-year-old who did meet someone on the internet she believed to be a peer, and then was abducted by a 39-year-old man and woman. And it tells a story about her rescue from those folks. One of the stars of the movie is Eric Estrada, and Mr. Estrada will be here on the 18th. He will speak after the movie to talk about his involvement in the film, as well as his role as a spokesman for the Safe Surfing Foundation. And so we are very excited about that. It is a free event for the community. It is for people of all ages. I would say children 7, 8, and up, and on up until 100 plus. If you can get there, we'd love to see you there. We're very excited to be able to bring this to Alexander County, and hope that through this activity there will be some resources developed for our agency as well as local law enforcement to be able to do some more work around this topic. So we're very excited about that.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I'm going to read your proclamation.
Okay, thank you.
Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. Whereas children are vital to our state's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, as well as being our most valuable assets. Whereas all children deserve to have safe, stable, nurturing, and healthy homes and communities that foster their well-being. Whereas child abuse and neglect is a public responsibility affecting both the current and future quality of life of a state. Whereas parents need support and resources to cope with stress and nurture their children to grow to their full potential. Whereas effective child abuse prevention strategies succeed because of partnerships created among citizens, human services agencies, schools, faith communities, healthcare providers, civic organizations, law enforcement agency, and other business in the community. Therefore, I do hereby proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month and call upon all citizens, community agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, elected leaders, and businesses to increase their participation in our efforts to support families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the communities in which we live. Is there any discussion on this proclamation?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to violate several of the rules, including the one you said about taking no action on public comment, but I'll make a motion that we include this proclamation in our consent agenda and that it be approved at this meeting and put in a format so that it can be used. And I'd ask for forgiveness for doing it this way, but with the work Holly and her staff do, I think it's very important that we cover as much of April as we can with this proclamation, so I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, raise your right hands. So carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to add it to the consent agenda. And that closes out the public comment period. The next item on the agenda is the public hearing closeout of Hoyle Keller Loop. Nancy Coley.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the purpose of this public hearing is to receive citizens' comments before submitting the closeout performance report for CDBG number 02-D-2080 Hoyle Keller Loop Revitalization Project. Community Development Block Funds of $295,777.08 were spent on this project, and CDBG funds provided 100% of all project costs. No local funds were spent. The purpose of this CDBG grant was to provide public water lines, residential water taps and connections to the households on Hoyle Keller Loop, to clear 2 vacant and dilapidated mobile homes, and to rehabilitate 4 privately owned dwellings. 1,714 linear feet of water lines were installed on Hoyle Keller Loop. 5 low-moderate income households were provided water taps and connections with grant funds, And of these 5 houses, there were 15 low and moderate income persons, and they benefited from the water element of this project. 2 vacant and dilapidated mobile homes were cleared. 3 homes were rehabilitated as a result of the Hoyle-Keller Loop CDBG project, and 10 low-income people reside in those 3 homes. Now, the owners of 3 households on Hoyle-Keller Loop declined the offer of connecting to the public water line, and 1 owner targeted for assistance declined the housing rehabilitation. Because homeowners declined grant assistance and because the county received good bids, $93,327.92 remains in unspent grant funds. The board should vote to submit the closeout papers to the Community Investment North Carolina Department of Commerce and deobligate the $93,327.92 in unspent grant funds. Are there any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
When you say give the money back, that's so sad.
I know.
It's so sad.
It would have been wonderful if we could have put in more water lines.
Right.
But Hoyle-Keller Loop, both ends of it are on Willie McLeod Road, which already has water. And Willie McLeod, it's close to the intersection with 127, already has water. So there was no other place to go.
But all the folks in that loop were taken care of that could be taken care of based on the grant.
Right. Yes.
That's very good.
And-
Well, it's really good that we got the low bids and everything, but,
Right.
we just want to make sure that everybody that could be taken care of with this grant, we're
Right.
taken care of.
Yes.
I think it's vitally important, so.
We, with the clearance of the mobile homes and some other work that we did do some elimination of slum and blight is what HUD calls it. That doesn't sound too good, but, and also, the 3 people whose homes we rehabilitated were very grateful. 2 of them are owned by elderly. So, and the other one is an unemployed family and on disability.
Very good.
So it was just a small grant, but we'll take any money we can get.
Take all we get.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Nancy, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to close out the grant.
You got to
Let's public hearing.
Close the public hearing.
First. I'm sorry.
second the motion to close the public hearing.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Next item on the agenda is report on,
You got to take a motion on that now.
I thought we had first and second.
Let's close the public hearing.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Larry, you want to make your motion again, or?
I move to close out the community development block grant number 02-D-2080, to close it out, and as much as I hate to send the money back, you know.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Carries, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is report on Rocky Fest celebration, May 25th, 2013. Gary Herman.
Thank you for allowing me here tonight, Chairman Jennings and Commissioners. We've got an exciting event coming up on May 25th, and we hope y'all can come out to it. I think Rick named it Rocky Fest, and it just kind of stuck, so I think it's appropriately named. As I said, it is May 25th. We're inviting everyone in the county and beyond to come out to this event. It celebrates the 1-year anniversary of Rocky Face Park. So, and it's going to be a day-long event. And we've tried to include something for everyone in the event, including in the morning, starting at 8:30, we're going to start off a 10K, a 20K, and a 50K. They're going to run the trails at the park. I don't know how, but they're going to. I was walking them yesterday, and my family had a great time, but running them, I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be, it's going to bring some people from outside for sure who look for these type of trail runs. We're also going to be featuring free rock climbing sessions for whoever wants to come out, from kids to, older adults. They'll learn a little bit about rock climbing and get to participate themselves. We're going to be doing geocaching. We're going to have children's activities such as inflatables, face painting. We're going to do a scavenger hunt. and I think we're going to do some storytelling with Miss Mel. That's our current plans. So, and then following that would be live music. Got a couple of bands lined up that are sure to please, and we're going to be offering some free food to our residents. And 5 o'clock on our tentative agenda right now, we've got guided nature hikes, so we can get people out on the trails and see everything that Rocky Face has to offer. But my family and I went out to the park yesterday and spent about 3 hours and had a blast. So if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. Or
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been out there rappelling off the rock, but did that a long time ago. Are they going to be doing rappelling along with the rock climbing, or is it just?
Let's see. I've got it's a 90-minute session.
It's called falling.
That'd be like a 10-second
Well, anyway,
session.
if they are doing the rappelling, it is unbelievable fun if you've never done it. So you should try it. And also, you've got geocaching on there. Can you explain what that is? Because I don't really know, and I'm sure a lot of people, other people don't know as well.
There are 20 geocaches hidden at the park. So basically, if you have a GPS device or a smartphone with a GPS, and you get the correct app, you can see all these geocaches that are hidden there, and you have clues and all types of stuff. We found 8 yesterday, and my kids love them. Some range from just a little tube with a little log in it that you sign and date to, a box full of toys or goodies or what, something like that.
So it's basically like a game.
It is a game, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun, and it
Right.
gets folks outdoors, So,
We'll hope for good weather.
yes, we are. And
Point out about the parking.
oh yeah, and parking. Majority of the parking will be at Rocky Face Baptist Church, because some of the parking spaces will be, some of the activities will be set up in the parking spaces, but there will be some parking at the park in the spaces closer to the road. So, anything else that I should mention?
Greenway will be moving people back and forth.
Oh, yeah, and Greenway Transportation, they will have a bus or a van to transport people from the church parking lot to the park. So,
One question.
Yes.
If I'm doing arithmetic right, 50K is about 30 miles. Is that right?
That's right, 31 miles, yes, sir.
I'd like to be there to see the end of that race.
I
What'd you
want
say,
to see
Rick?
the one where the commissioners rappel off of the,
Gotta be out town
a
that
lot of
day.
people will come to see that.
I'll do it.
Depends on where they want to tie the rope.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions for Gary? Gary, thanks a lot for your information.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on your agenda is State of the County message. That message has been postponed until our next meeting on April 22nd due to some technical issues. So if you'll just change that, we will have State of the County message. Item number 5 on the agenda is Alexander County Resolution Application for North Carolina Rural Center Building Reuse Funds for Hallmark Furniture. David Eisenhower.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I actually have 2 resolutions for you tonight, and they are both for the North Carolina Rural Centers Building Reuse and Restoration Grant Program. The first one is for Hallman Furniture of Taylorsville. It's a very short resolution, so I'll read it, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind. Whereas Alexander County's Board of Commissioners has indicated its desire to assist in economic development efforts for business and industry within Alexander County. And whereas the board fully supports the proposed expansion project proposed by Hallman Furniture, which will result in the reuse of an existing empty industrial building and will retain 13 existing full-time jobs and create a minimum of 2 new full-time jobs for Alexander County. Whereas the board wishes the county to pursue a formal application for building reuse funds in the amount of $9,862 from the North Carolina Rural Economic Development Center. And whereas the board certifies it will provide the 5% match required, which is $493, and will meet all other requirements of the North Carolina Rural Economic Development Center Building Reuse Grant Program. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Alexander County Board of Commissioners, that Alexander County is authorized to submit formal application to the North Carolina Rural Economic Development Center's Building Reuse and Restoration Grants Program in order to provide assistance to benefit Hallman Furniture.
David, if I
as of
may,
today.
can we take these one at a time?
Yes, sir.
Does any of the commissioners have any comments on this resolution?
Mr. Chairman, let me just add one quick item to that. This is a one-for-one match, so the $9,862 that we'll be applying for Hallman will be matched by the company in an equal amount. And also, the matching funds that are required by the county, we, quote, pay those through the time that I spend preparing the grant and then administering the grant. So there's no actual cash from the county in this instance.
That's a good thing.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the grant as presented, or the grant application as presented.
Do I have a second? Any comments?
Well, I was fixing to ask, this Hallman Furniture, has it been here before and you're redoing a?
Yes, ma'am. They've been in
Where
existence for a number of years in the county.
Oh, okay. Where is it located?
They are located in the basement of the building that, I'm going to show my age here, but the best I remember is at one time it was the old Harris Teeter in Taylorsville.
It's behind Modern Laundry and Cleaners.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. They're operating there in about 13,000 square feet, and they are actually purchasing an existing empty building in the Wittenberg community. And so these funds will be used to help renovate the loading docks so that the company can just move right in and start building furniture. And they will, or they intend and feel really good about actually creating more than 2 jobs, but the 2 jobs is all they need in order to meet the requirements of this particular grant.
I have a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion approved. David, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The second resolution of support is exactly worded the same except for the change in the company. So I won't read the resolution to you word for word, but this resolution of support is for Precision Materials. And Precision Materials wishes to undertake some renovations at their plant to benefit the employees. This application will be in the amount of $25,000 from the North Carolina Rural Center. And again, one-for-one match. The company will put in an equal amount of money. The county will have to certify that it will match the $1,250, the 5% match. And again, that will come from my time preparing the grant, preparing the application, administering grant funds. Precision currently has 15 full-time employees, and they will pledge a minimum of 5 new employees to meet the requirements of this grant. Any questions?
Any questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor? Raise your right hand. Motion's approved. The next item on, thank you, David. Number 7, resolution for the sale of refunding bonds by Bethlehem Water District, County Manager Rick French.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your packets, you have a resolution for the sale of the refunding the bonds for the, by the Bethlehem Water District. Basically, this will be to consider saving about $50,000. Interest rate currently is 3.97%. For $875,000, it would drop to 1.91%. The term of the refunding will still be the same, be 2018. And also tonight we have with us our bond counsel, Mr. Bob Jessup, and he's here to answer any questions if you have some, Mr. Commissioners. And if there are questions, Mr. Jessup's here.
Do the commissioners have any questions, any comments?
Rick, if you would hit the numbers again, the savings and percentages, please, sir.
Current interest rate is 3.97%, and it would go to 1.91%, and it's, the principal is $875,000. We would save approximately $50,000, and the term would be to 2018, and that's what it currently is.
About $10,000 a year is the average.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the refinancing.
Do I hear a second?
I second it.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Resolution is approved. Next item on the agenda is the sales tax report. County Manager Rick French.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your packet, you have a copy of the Alexander County sales tax report for the first 7 months of the fiscal year. Through 7 months, we have collected $2,112,004, which is $28,744 more than this time last year. This time last year, we had collected $2,083,260. With the articles, Article 46 is running a little bit ahead of schedule. We have collected $220,408. That represents 64% of the budget. Article 40, we've collected $886,128. That represents 60% of the budget, so that's run ahead of schedule also. Article 39, the big one, if you will, in sales taxes is running just a little bit behind. It's $2,391. It's running 55.75%. So overall we're running about 1.38% ahead of this time where we were last year. I guess that's the good news. I wish that was higher, but the bad news is the hold harmless is $67,997. So we're running behind overall, but that's a sales tax report for the first 7 months.
Mr. French, let me ask you a question. Why is the Article 39 running behind and all the other ones are a little bit ahead? Do you know?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay.
Well, now 39 is a point of sale. 42 is a point of sale. 40 is a per capita. Isn't that correct, Rick?
I believe that's correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is because the half-cent per capita distribution runs almost the same as the 1 cent point of sale. And that's what those numbers are showing.
Any other questions or discussions?
Well, I'd just like to add that for those people who are listening and watching this on cable and they don't have any idea what we're talking about, when you pay sales tax, when you buy an item at the store, it's broken up at the state level in all these smaller sales taxes, like 1 cent, ½ cent, quarter cent. So that goes to the county. Some of it goes to the state. So it's broken up. Article 39, 1 cent. Article 40, ½ cent. Article 42, ½ cent. Article 44, Article 46. So I just wanted to explain to people what we're talking about.
I've got one quick question. Commissioner Yoder, Article 42, did that used to be per capita distribution?
It was at one time. Well, I think whenever I came commission, it was. Yes.
I just
You
want
like that, don't you?
Why not? Something
I
needs
was
to be
sitting here,
said.
wasn't gonna say a word tonight. I was gonna be real quiet, you know.
He was real quiet, wasn't he?
You know, I've been, you know, but,
That's where the
change is coming on the taxes in North Carolina. Change is coming.
to say, Larry, you may get your wish.
It's coming. It's just a matter of time, and they work out some irons in the coals, and they'll get some things done, and you're gonna see some changes. And I hope it's all for the better, and things work out, and state income tax go away, and some other things go away, and everything's from user taxes. I think it'll be better for the citizens of North Carolina.
I would encourage you what Mr. Yoder and the other folks are talking about. There is change coming in the way the state legislature, as we speak, are having detailed discussions on what the taxes are going to be in the state, whether it's going to be a flat tax and whether it applies only to sales taxes as opposed to income taxes. And so you just need to go on the internet or call your legislators, either Mark Hollow or Austin Allran, who's your state senator, or send them an email to have them get you up to speed on what's going on in the state legislature. And nothing is passed, but there's a bipartisan committee looking into how to change the tax code in North Carolina. And it will be changed. They've made that commitment. The governor's made that commitment. So we all hope that's going to be to everybody's benefit. Any other comments? The next item on the agenda is budget ordinance amendments, number 45 through number 47. County Manager Rick French.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Budget amendment number 45 is to increase the Health Department budget for additional food and lodging state funds, additional healthy communities funds, and communicable disease vaccination campaign funds to replenish vaccines for clinics, and to decrease the revenue budget for housing inmates from other counties. Original budget estimate was based on plans to enter into contracts to house the other counties' inmates in the new jail facility. Number 46 is to budget for the animal shelter renovations in the county capital projects fund rather than the general fund due to the timing of the renovations will extend into the new fiscal year. And number 47 is to increase the recreation department budget for additional lights to be purchased for Dusty Ridge Park. The county will use $5,000 from prior year's Matheson tournament profit from Dusty Ridge, and balance to be funded by a donation from the Wittenberg Recreation. And be glad to answer any questions, Mr. Chairman.
With any questions on the
I move to approve budget ordinance amendments 45, number 46, and 47.
Wise?
Second it.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. The next item on the agenda is the county manager's report. Rick French.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple things to mention tonight. One is that our North Carolina Association of County Commissioners district meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April the 11th in Lenoir from 5:30 to 8. Also, discussion earlier about tax reform. There's actually a copy of the slide presentation is at the back of that packet. That'll, which goes in some detail about making it a more business-friendly environment. Sales taxes will be changed as some of the discussion. There's some concern about what it does to rural counties, but we'll have to wait and see. Another item we would like your approval on tonight is to move ahead working with the City of Hickory to extend water on Poplar Grove Court. There's some people there that have well problems, and the City of Hickory will design and install the water line. The material cost for extending the line from Church Road to Poplar Court on Teaguetown Road is $25,000. Alexander County pays a third of that, and the residents pay 2/3 of that, plus the tap fees. And we'd like to move ahead with that project, and we'd like to recommend approval.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Any discussion on the extending the water line extension?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Consent agenda. We have added 2 items to the consent agenda: Child Abuse Prevention Month Proclamation and JCPC County Fund funding allocation. Is there any questions on the consent agenda? There's a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. The next item on the agenda is to move into closed session. North Carolina General Statutes 143-318-11, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 to prevent disclosure of confidential information, degrees, prizes, or awards, economic development, contractual, and personnel. Is there a motion to adjourn to closed session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have moved to closed session.